Morning, everybody. So special to be here. Andy, I want it. Thank you so much for having me, Dale, and everybody, and thank you all for being here today. I've just got a little bit of a message to share with you, and it's quite a brave message. Many of you won't be able to sit through this 15 minutes without looking at your phone, but some of you will be able to do it. What I really want to do today is I want you to leave here with a greater ambition of yourself. You know, many of you, it doesn't matter if you've just started your first job and this is your first year, maybe in an agency or on my side of the table as a marketer, but many of you will think that the ultimate aim for a marketer is to be a CMO, and if you're in the creative side, is to be a CCO like Pepe. But I'm here to tell you that there's more than that, okay? Because I wanted to trigger some thinking amongst you that that's not the ultimate. I think you need to go for CEO and board member level, because the world has had a very, very long turn with accountants and lawyers and engineers, and I'm grateful for them all. My family's full with them. But it's really time for the creative people to stand up and come to the table at the board level and at the CEO level, because artificial intelligence and machine learning is going to flatten the playing field for everybody. And there's going to be one thing left to chase for competitive advantage, and that's going to be creativity. And that's you. So look at the person next to you and say, that's us. And you all thought that I was going to stand up here today and tell you how AI is going to rob you of your job. It will only rob the stubborn and the lazy of their jobs, the ones that refuse to be flexible, that refuse to change. Marketing people are very flexible. Agency people are even more flexible because they're used to us giving them debrief after debrief and changing our minds all the time, aren't you? Yeah, you are. So in theory, artificial intelligence, as you've all read and know, is going to take repetitive tasks out of our hands to give us more opportunity and bandwidth for higher cognitive thinking. That's the aim and the agreement of that. But unfortunately, artificial intelligence will not replace natural stupidity. That will remain. Just remember, less than 3% of the world have an IQ of more than 120. Don't forget that fact. That's why we have people in power that shouldn't be in power, and other elements. But let me not digress. This revolution is going to be profound. Okay, we are seeing some magnificent things happening, especially in the health industry. I can go on about that. Communications, safety, farming, and creativity. Recently, Huawei did a big AI experiment where they actually went on to complete Schubert's Unfinished Symphony No. 8 using AI. And I'd encourage you to look that up because it's quite remarkable. 2016, we saw DeepMind and AlphaGo beat the best player in the world, and we thought that would never happen because there's more permutations in Go than there are known atoms. So that was extraordinary that happened. And that was a tipping point in AI. It evidenced that we can do almost anything with it. So it solves the most repetitive and time-consuming tasks you have in your world so that you can turn your thinking to creative solutions. Now here's the metrics that counts. At the bottom of the pyramid, you see the awareness and the exposure. And many of you measure all what I call soft metrics. Unique visitors, page views, impressions, and all those things. 80% of them are fake. I tweeted yesterday about the click farm. The astonishing thing about the click farm. It's the worst thing in the industry. That and manipulation of people, Cambridge Analytica style, is the worst thing in our industry. Avoid it at all costs. At all costs. That is the diabolical side. So today I'm going to say that, but still those soft metrics evolve and turn into hard metrics. Sales, market share, Share of voice and extra share of voice are the only big four that count. They are the ones that I chase on a daily basis in our business. So you say creativity, Katherine. Do you know, as I stand here today on the 14th of March 2019, I'm sad to say that I don't know one creative leader that sits on a JSE board. Not one. Plus, in the Fortune 500, only 2.3% of board members are marketers like myself, formally trained marketers like myself. 2.3%, that's it, in 2019. You know, guys, I'm almost brave enough to say that if we had had a creative person sitting on the Steinhoff board, I don't think that would have happened. I'm actually quite serious. Because the creative doyens that I'm so privileged to know here in South Africa, they would just be too curious. They would ask and ask and ask until they understand, and then they would question. Because that's the kind of people that they are. And we need those kind of people on boards. So I think creative people need to look up towards that, and marketing people as well. Because we're sitting here with agencies that want to become management consultants, and management consultants want to become agencies, and analog trained people are trying to become digital experts are trying to become integrated experts. And frankly, as far as I'm concerned, the platforms are not the answer. The creative-led thinking is. But people honestly believe that they need to make sure that they are mobile only because of our collective addiction to smartphones. How many of you have checked yours in the last 5 minutes? People check them 110 times a day. Do you know that? They unlock their phones 110 times a day. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. But because you keep multitasking all day, and this is the important point, because you keep looking at the phone and you keep looking at the iPad and you keep looking up and then you keep turning around, your IQ actually drops by 15 points. Because we've lost the ability to focus as people. And you have to break through that with your products as well. How difficult is that? So AI is supposed to make us more creative, but I think that our critical creative thinking is dropping. We've stifled our creative partners by forcing data-driven insight briefs down their creative mine shafts, coupled with us marketers have massive legal fears of rejection and PR backlash, that it might go wrong, that we might end up like Pepsi and Kylie Jenner. We do. We have these fears. Plus, we have our own deep fears of not meeting the plethora of KPIs and the silly metrics that we've made up. And lots of the little digital ones are bots and they don't count anyway. And we've forced our creative partners to make lots and lots of little things to reach lots and lots of little metrics to defend our current market share, spreading ourselves thinly over every new channel and every new marketing gimmick for fear that we'll look out, lose out, and that the competitors will beat us. I follow a very smart man in the UK. His name's Tom Roach. I hope I meet him one day. There's lots of people in the industry that I hope to meet one day. I just met Andy Rice. I'm so thrilled about that. But last year, BBH Labs ran a World Cup of ads. And what they did is that they took 715 adverts from 60 sources and narrowed it down to 64 into the finals. And 15,000 votes from the marketing society across the world started to vote for these ads. CMOs, people from the creative industry, 15,000 people got involved in this piece of work, and they ran a World Cup through voting and created a little World Cup of ads. And the one that won was Surfer, the Guinness Surfer ad. That ad was made in 1999, 20 years ago. The astonishing thing about this is the ones in the top 20, not one single one was made in the last 10 years. I'm afraid to say we've gone backwards creatively, because the IQ that's been dropping by 15 points through distraction, the CQ, the creative quotient, which I just made up, I don't think such a thing exists, has also dropped. And it's both of our faults, especially mine as a marketer. So if we all stop and acknowledge this, we actually might start the greatest creative revolution ever. Two other geniuses that I hope to meet one day, Les Barnett and Peter Field, you must read the long and the short of it. It'll change your life. It is deeply insightful. It's 30 years of research, and it evidences how creativity is the most powerful competitive advantage that you can have in any brand. And here's the metrics to prove it. The sales go up, the market share goes up, the price sensitivity drops, the loyalty goes up, the penetration goes up, and the profit goes up. If you buy campaigns that are gunning for awards. Fame-driven campaigns count, and here it is to prove it. My challenge to myself is that I need to start writing strong briefs filled with insights that only I know about my category, my competition, the customers, my products, and the target markets. Me and my team are desperate to become very, very good at that. We've asked Gillian Rightford to help us with that so that we can get better and better, because we want to become better so that we give our creative partners a better opportunity for delivering breakthrough work for us. And that marketer drives results that matter. Isn't that the reason we all got into this industry in the first place? To make customers turn their heads and buy our products, plus make them feel great about their purchase decision at the same time, and improve their lives by it. Of course we did. That was the whole point, that we all came into this industry, isn't it? I'm game for this, are you? And finally, I'm sure you're all dying to see the award-winning #1 World Cup of ads that was made in 1999. So let me close by saying thank you so much for your attention, and please enjoy this masterpiece that was Guinness.
He waits. That's what he does. And I tell you what, tick followed tock, followed tick, followed tock, followed tick. Ahab says, I don't care who you are, here's to your dream. The old sailors returned to the bar. Here's to you, Ahab! And the fat drummer hit the beat with all his heart. Here's to waiting.